All right, so let's go back to our problem. We want to know the true average daily screen time for a typical South River student. Okay, so we have our random sample of 30 with a sample mean of 6.4 hours, standard deviation of 1.08. We want to construct a 98% confidence interval for the average daily screen time for a typical South River student. Okay, so just to get ourselves set up, I wrote down our statistics. Confidence level is 98%. Using NVT or your table, your T-star is 2.462. Okay, so for your state, all you need to write is one sentence stating what you're trying to estimate. Okay, we want to estimate the true average daily screen time of a South River student with 98% confidence. Make sure you say this in context and you say the confidence level. Okay, now for your plan. We want to make sure we have a simple random sample, okay, and they told us in the problem that it was a random sample, and we want to assume that 30 is less than 10% of all students at South River. Okay, since our sample size is 30, that means our sample size is large enough to safely use T procedures, okay, so we don't have to check anything. With conditions met, we're going to apply the T distribution, not the normal distribution, and calculate a one sample T interval. Okay. All right, in your do, okay, this is the format for our confidence interval. All right, so my statistic, 6.4, plus or minus my critical value, which I figured out earlier, 2.462, times the standard deviation of my sample over the square root of 30, which was my sample size. Okay. All right, what I can do in the calculator now, okay, if I go into stat tests, okay, so we're going to scroll down to number 8, which is a T interval. Okay, now if you look, your input says data or stats. So data is if they gave you all the values in your sample and you put it into a list. We're going to do stats. So they told us the X-bar, they told us the standard deviation and the sample size. Okay, so we're just going to type those in. And our confidence level was 98. And all I have to do is hit enter, and it's going to calculate your T interval for you. Okay, so our interval was 5.915 to 6.886. Okay, now in your do, just make sure you clearly show what kind of interval you're constructing. You don't have to do this math by hand. The calculator can do it for you. All right, and for our our conclude, we are 98% confident that the true average daily screen time for a South River student is between 5.915 and 6.886 hours. Okay, that's just interpreting your interval, okay, and saying what you estimated. All right, for interpreting the confidence level, this part down here, we will work on that next class, okay, so don't worry about that for right now. Just working on the state plan do conclude and saying your interval correctly. All right, see you guys next time.